It's quite a hike, really. It will take us 2 train journeys and more than an hour of traveling from where we live in New Malden to our next food market hunt destination. We are heading to Southwark, to one of the oldest and biggest food markets in London. Hey you, and welcome to my YouTube channel, and welcome back if you are one of my repeat viewers. I'm so happy to see you again. And yes, today our destination is Borough Market. So if you have been following me recently, well, you will know that we've been doing vlogs, or rather recce's, on several different food markets in London, in and about London, places like Vauxhall, Mayfair, and also Kingston. They are all on my channel's playlist. You don't need to shy away from checking them out. They are all here. And anyway, we are saving the best for last, and today we are going to the oldest food market in London, that of Borough Market. Now, close your eyes and try to imagine more than 1,000 years ago, traders would convene in this particular spot and they would sell their wares. Typically, these would have been livestock and also vegetables, seafood, and various kinds of grains. This corner of London, Southwark, has always been known as a great market town, and the original site of the Borough Market is said to have existed, or rather been in existence, since the year of 1014. Here's an interesting tidbit for you. Way back in the year of 1754, a bill was passed in the British Parliament declaring that Borough Market must cease operation because, well, due to its popularity, it was causing much obstruction and congestion in this area. This was due to the fact that in the 1700s, Borough Market grew in popularity in leaps and bounds. The number of stalls set up by traders just kept increasing and increasing, and you also get livestock like cows and goats just practically wandering about, and the authorities weren't too happy with it. Not to be defeated, the residents of Southwark clubbed together some money to the tune of £6,000. That's an equivalent of £1 million in today's currency, and they bought a piece of land away from the main road and gave Borough Market a new lease of life. Yes, it's due to the determination of the residents of Southwark to carry on the tradition, to preserve the tradition of Borough Market, that we are standing here today enjoying our seafood paella. We were so ready for our first tuck-in this foodie market, and that paella comes from a stall which is called Bomba Paella, and they serve delicious Spanish paella with chicken, chorizo, mussels, squids, and also Madagascar tiger prawns. We are so ready for stop number 2 here in Borough Market, and this stall caught our eye, and we seem to be speaking the same language. Not exactly the language of love, but the language of our stomachs. Let's have a look around from this vantage point of view and see what else we can find in this corner of Borough Market. This food market is an absolute maze, and when we first stepped inside, we really didn't know where to start, where to begin. It is obvious that there are a lot of tourists here in Borough Market, but there are also many Londoners who come here to buy their fresh produce, like vegetables and also meat, to cook at home, because London is definitely not a cheap place to eat out, even in a food market like this. Here we are. You are looking at the cooking area, the kitchen of shell seekers who serves shellfish caught on the Jurassic coast from their very own boat. It's a bit like from the sea to the table concept. Well, nowadays people, especially here in London, they're quite discerning about the origins of their food. They want to know where their food comes from. Not wrong with that, but be prepared that you'll be paying more than a few pretty pennies in excess in comparison to those which are cultivated en masse. Both Gobble Guzzle Junior and I, we are such seafood fanatics. How could we say no to these? These gorgeous scallops from shell seekers are hand-dived from an area which is called Jurassic Coast, which spans from Exmouth in Devon to Stratton Bay in Dorset. These are totally delish at £3 a piece. Well, diver caught scallops is considered to be, well, slightly more environmentally considerate way of extracting the scallops from the seabed without destroying everything else living among them in the process. Junior and I, we are trying to eat without guilt, so that accounts for my ramble on the process of extracting scallops. There are so many stalls to explore here in Borough Market, and we are just going from one end to the other. Well, lots of international cuisine, even a Malaysian one. I just dropped by to say hi to them, looking at the delicious rendang. Not for me today, but if you're a Malaysian hankering for a taste of home, head to the stall called Jolly in this part of Borough Market. You can find a beef rendang and also laksa. We zero in on this one, oroshi, for our next stop. Let's put in our order and grab a seat by the bar counter. At least we don't have to stand about with our styrofoam box or whatsoever like previously. Now, this is the stall which I was talking about a minute or two ago, Jolly, and they have beef rendang, Singapore laksa, clay pot prawn noodles, and I must say that they are a little bit more of a fusion Malaysian stall, because I see they have gyozas on their menu, and if you were to ask an average Malaysian on the street back home, they wouldn't know what a gyoza is. And this is our chicken bento from Oroshi, well balanced with meat and a reasonable amount of greens on the plate. If you are a muggle, a Harry Potter fan, There are several locations here in Borough Market which were used as scenes in two of the movies, the first one and also The Prisoner of Azkaban. This iconic food market was also featured in the movie of Bridget Jones' Diary. If you can recall one scene in the Bridget Jones' Diary where Darcy and Cleaver, they were fighting on the street and then it spilled over into a Greek restaurant. Well, that was filmed right here in Borough Market. And in that rom-com, Bridget Jones' apartment is located above a pub which is called Globe Tavern, and you can find that on Bedale Street. Okay, time for some hazelnut baklava and a strong Turkish coffee for Junior. I guess this is our last stop for the day in Borough Market. Now, this one looks like what we have back home, which is called Fanta. The Turkish deli is next to an empanada stall, which looks very, very tempting also. But I don't think we have space for empanadas now. Maybe I'll just pop next door and bunkus one or two empanadas for the journey back home. We have reached the end of our foodie walk here in Borough Market, and thank you so much for joining us and staying on with us till the end. This concludes our recce of food halls, food markets in London. Well, 6 of them all together, at least on this trip. And do join us again for our next foodie vlog. Until then, always be kind and spread the message of peace. Jumpa lagi. Bye-bye.